Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'll be reviewing The Princess, now streaming on Hulu. In this film, we have a twist on kind of the classic take of a princess who doesn't want to be married off to just any man. She wants to be independent, she wants to live her life, but it has like an R-rated twist to it. It does have kind of those classic themes that you would see in a lot of fairy tales. It reminded me a lot of if you took Brave and made it like a live action graphic film without any of like the supernatural elements. I have to say right away, I didn't know what to expect from this movie. I thought it was going to be your traditional fantasy princess film, and it turned out to be this pretty graphic movie. And I did enjoy those elements of it. It is a nice twist to the genre. I was not expecting this movie to have like decapitations and people getting stabbed and blood going everywhere. I just thought it was going to be like a funny romp around a castle or something like that. So I was pleasantly surprised by having that twist to it. And I do think that throughout it keeps that energy. It keeps some really over the top set pieces, some interesting fighting choreography. But it does fall a little bit short when it comes to its actual visual effects. There are plenty of scenes where you can see that it was on kind of a shoestring budget. It didn't have like the big overblown budget of a movie that you would typically see in this kind of genre. It felt to me almost like a Disney Channel movie that was rated R. It had that quality to it. They definitely made the most of what they had, but like I said, it falls short a couple of times, especially when things get really big and grandiose. Zoe King is pretty decent as the princess. She plays a really intense character, someone who is really fighting back against the world, who wants her to be a certain way. Like I said, we've seen this a lot in movies where you have a princess or a young woman that's being thrown into a marriage or into a situation. She feels like she has no autonomy or independence, but she's a really strong person who fights back against that, kind of rises above that stigma. And this movie does that, so it doesn't really break the mold when it comes to those themes. It's a little on the nose with it, but it does get those themes across. I'll say the strongest asset that this movie has is that it is just completely action-packed. It's an hour and a half of just pretty much nonstop fighting. And like I said, the choreography is pretty decent, even if the visual effects do fall short. The costuming, the weapons, everything about it works for what it's meant to be. It doesn't really elevate it to what you'd see in really like a high-level action film. Dominic Cooper plays Julius, who is the bad guy. He's kind of the guy that she was supposed to be married off to. He's this very domineering, extremely aggressive man, and he's a little over the top. He's kind of a stereotypical villain that you would see in these movies. He just wants power. He doesn't care who he kills. He's just overall just a really bad guy. So, I mean, he's fine. He accomplishes in being someone you really dislike, and you're just like, this guy's awful. I wish he would just die already. But, like, I don't know. There's just not a lot there. This movie is pretty shallow when it comes to the character development and the overall story, but I think the action makes up for it for the most part. And I think Joey King's performance is very visceral and intense. It's not something I've seen from her before. And it is always nice to see a strong female lead in a movie like this. I feel like when it's pulled off well, it really works. So if I were to rate this movie, I would give it like a solid 6 out of 10. It's pretty average. It's not like a great movie. It's definitely something that'd be decent to check out. Just flip on if you want to see something a little different. You want to see a twist on this kind of fairy tale princess genre. Like I said, it does feel in many ways like a Disney Channel movie that would be rated R. So if that's something you'd be into, it does, have a little bit lower production quality. You're basically coming for the action and the intensity of the movie, and I feel like it succeeds in that particular factor. So if you checked out The Princess, let me know what you thought about it. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? For me, it kind of fell. It was like kind of a mixed bag. It was something where there were some elements I liked about it. There were some other parts about it that were really shallow and just kind of feels like they tried to bite off more than they could chew. So at the end of the day, a decent movie to watch, kind of a fun experience, a lot of action, so I enjoyed that it went pretty fast. I never felt like it was boring. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.